Hi, I'm Marilyn Sanclementi of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my Creative Playground. Today I'm going to show you... Marilyn Sanclementi of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my Creative Playground. One, two, three. Hi, I'm Marilyn Sanclementi of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my Creative Playground. Today I'm going to show you how to do this really cute little peekaboo card, and it's a little bit tricky to put together, so I thought I would record a video. I did this card last Friday night at one of my online Zoom classes, and it's just a really cool card. So it starts like this, and it opens up, and it changes the image. So this one is for Mother's Day, and it's using the hydrangea set, and it says, "To an incredible woman." So happy Mother's Day to an incredible woman. And I just thought it's a really cool card, and it's actually not that hard to make, but getting it put together is a little bit tricky. So I thought that I would record a video for that. And here's an example of one that I did that I put together the other night. Oops. Uh-oh. There we go. Like so. And okay. So what we're going to do is we're starting with 3 pieces of cardstock, and this isn't your normal sized, it comes out to a normal size card, 5.5 by 4 1/4, but your pieces of cardstock are a little bit different. So first, your front piece is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. And you're going to score it at 5.5. So I'm going to move my cutting blade. I'm just going to score that. Like so. So that's your front piece. And it's going to have this little tail on it. Your back piece is actually 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. The back piece is actually 4 1/4 by 8 by 5 3/4, and you're going to score it at the 1/4 inch mark. Okay, so let's say that again. So the back piece is 4 1/4 inches by 5 3/4, and you're going to score that at the 1/4 inch mark. So it is going to look like this. So basically what you're doing on this one is you're just making a tab. So this is the front of your card, and this is the back of your card. And I will show you how to put them together in a few minutes. And then your third piece, which is that center layer of your card, is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And you're going to score this at 4 1/4. So basically, the center of the card is a square. So it looks like this. Now, the next piece that we're going to do is next we build these little circles, and what we're going to do is cut through the top of the card. We're going to trace that circle on the center part and cut through that, and then we're going to cut through the back of the center part. And so when the card is closed, you're going to see through to the back of the card, and then this piece will slide, which is the back side of the front piece of the card, will slide in place of the back, and you can put your second message there. So that's how that works. It's just kind of a moving thing. So what we're going to do now is I have a 2-inch circle punch, or not, I'm sorry. I have a 2-inch circle die. and I'm going to place that here, and you want about a 1/2 inch from this side and a 1/2 inch from the top. And I would recommend using a piece of washi tape to hold this in place. And if you are going to use a piece of designer paper on the top of this card, like I did with this, with the hydrangea card, you want to put that on first before you do this layer. So now I'm just going to run this through my cutting machine. And now I have my first circle on the top, on the front of my card. And now what I want to do is line this piece up. This is that square piece that we did, that's the center of the card. And we're going to line that up with the front, like this. And I'm just going to take a pencil and draw the circle. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, and again, if you're going to use a piece of designer paper on the inside of the card, then make sure you put that on first, and you want to make sure that you line up the designer paper, the fold on the designer paper with the fold on the card. So this piece of designer paper I cut at 4 inches because I wanted a little bit of a margin here by 8.5. And so just make sure that you have those folds lined up. Okay. And okay, so depending upon how many layers you have, if you do put designer paper in here and the designer paper goes all the way across, then that's 2 layers and 2 layers. So then you're cutting through 4. So that really won't work too well. But if you're just cutting through 2 layers like this, then I can put this piece on. And again, use a piece of washi tape. Okay, and I'm just going to roll that through. So I have rolled this through my cutting machine, and I now have the 2 circles. Oops. And you really don't need the 2 circles. And so now what I'm going to do is put the whole thing together for you. So you have your back piece, which has not been cut. It just has this little tab. You have your center piece, which has been cut all the way through. And you have the front of your card. So the next thing that you're going to do is line up the front of your card with that center piece, the top of the center piece. And as you can see, those circles line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my, and where did my seal go? Okay, let's get a seal that has tape in it. Okay, so I'm just going to use my seal. And I'm going to tape this whole thing together, and then what I'm going to do is line this all up. Okay, there we go. And now, so this, because this is a shorter piece and it's a square, it's not going to go all the way back, but you don't want it to go all the way back because when you open your card, this piece is going to fold back and that's where you're going to put your second message. So I hope that makes sense. So right now your card looks like this. You have your front piece and you have your inside piece and all the holes match up. And if you need to, you can trim a little bit here and trim a little bit down here. If it comes out a little bit crooked, that's okay. You can always straighten it out. And now what you're going to do is take this back piece and I'm going to add a piece of sticky strip, the double-sided tape to this. And what I found is I did do this with the seal and it kept coming apart. So I would use either the Seal Plus if you have that, or I would use the sticky strip or tear and tape as it's also known. Okay, so I'm going to rip that or take the, no, that didn't work. Okay, I'm going to take the layer off. There we go. Okay, and now this is going to match up with the back side of this. So what we're going to do is line up the back side of the centerpiece. We'll line up the back side of the centerpiece with the edge of that fold. And then it is going to fold over. And your front piece, the tail from your front piece will go in between. So the card, so when the card lays flat, it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. It's the normal size. But this side is not all connected because if it were connected, then your part of your card cannot move. So this is how you put that card together. So then what you're going to do is your first message will actually go on the back of the card. And what you can do is actually take a pencil and you can put on here first message because that's what you're going to see. And then you can open this up and here you can put on here second message. And what I did for this was I took a circle that was just a little bit larger than this 2-inch circle. So I took a 2.5-inch circle and I put that, there we go. So this is my back piece where I put the Happy Mother's Day. So I have a 2.5-inch circle that I put there and I put the Happy Mother's Day. And then this is the back side of my other piece. And again, I have that 2.5-inch circle, and then I have the other piece of the hydrangea that says to an incredible woman. So when you put the whole thing together, it looks like this. I've got my Happy Mother's Day, and then I have my to an incredible woman, and the piece of the hydrangea matches up. So to do this, I used, when I cut this circle on this piece, I just took that piece of designer paper and used that as my guide to get that to all match up again. So that's it. That's how you put together the Peekaboo card. And I think they're a lot of fun. They're really cute to do. And it's really not that hard. You just have to do it once or twice. So that's why I thought it would be easier if I just put this all together. And again, what I would do is just trim this straight down here to get it all, to get all those sides even. You can see it's a little bit off right here, but nothing is ever perfect. And that's why these cards